All right, here's the answer key for the worksheet we had yesterday. You can see the first section, we had like a Venn diagram we were supposed to make comparing the Democratic and Republican parties. I think on your doc, I just made it into a list. Either way works fine. Here are the answers for what you had on the worksheet. On the Democratic Party side, the answers that should go in just that circle or just that list. The Democratic Party is usually liberal on most issues. And the other answer you should have there, that being liberal, they support an increased federal funding for social programs. Democrats are usually for higher taxes. Therefore, with more money in the government, they can use that money to spend on programs to help those people that need help. The other answer here with Democratic Party should say because the Democratic Party believes in the national government getting taxes to help the people, they're going to believe in a greater role for the federal government. The national government should be more hands-on with helping the people. Those are the three answers that go on the Democratic Party side. On the Republican Party side, they are conservative. We went over that this week many times. And as being a conservative ideology, the second answer is they support reducing the power of the federal government. They believe state governments should have more power. They're closer to you. They know more what you want. The national government should stay out of your business. Part of that then is also why they believe in fewer programs, fewer taxes, a small government approach. In the middle with the both answers, what you'll see here is you should have, they both offer ideas near the center of public opinion. Both of these political parties don't want to be too close to the edges of that political spectrum because then it's harder for them to win moderate votes. And as we said, moderates or centrist are who determines elections. You have to win the people in the middle that are not part of your party in order to win the election. And another answer that goes with the both area, the middle between the Democrats and Republicans in the Venn diagram, is they've both had adequate power since the Civil War. This just meaning that both parties have at times been the majority in our country, having control of Congress, having the president, and then both parties have also at times been the minority. So we have had a very good flow of Republican and Democratic power in our country. Moving to the true-false section of our worksheet, number 1 at the bottom on the true-false says political parties nominate candidates to run for political office. That's true. We said the whole point of a political party is it gives the people a voice in government after we've elected officials. And what the political parties want to do is elect officials who are like them. So political parties are groups that come together to elect people to office who believe the same thing as them. Number 1 is true. Number 2 is false. We do not have to join a political party. As I've said in class many times, I do not belong to any political party. Many people do not belong to political parties. You might have friends and family who say they are Republicans or say they are Democrats, but unless you actually join the party, you're not a part of that political party, which is fine. You do not have to join one, but you are allowed to if you'd like to have that voice. All right, flipping the worksheet over and still staying on the true and false section on the back. Number 3 is true. We've mentioned that we have 2 major political parties in this country. That's why we're a 2-party system. But we have hundreds of smaller third parties. Number 3 is true. Number 4 is false. The Republican Party is said to be more liberal than the Democratic Party. That's false. If you were going to change this one, you would change the liberal to conservative. That would make the answer correct. Number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all true statements. Number 5 just says governments that have a one-party system are dictatorships. We've talked about that before. Number 6 says third parties can influence public policy. This is true. The way we said they could influence public policy is by if somebody feels they are being neglected and they vote for a third party, one of the 2 major parties may add that to their platform in the next election. Number 7 being true, Democrats and Republicans' views can both be put on a political spectrum. That's what we did in class last Friday and this Monday. Number 8 is true. Several European countries have more than 2 strong political parties. We'd mentioned that they have multi-party systems in Europe. Number 9, this was in the reading. We haven't talked about this third-party candidate, but this is another one like Ross Perot that we've talked about before, who took votes away from one candidate and caused a different candidate to win the election. Number 10, the final true-false is false. It says the 2-party system in the United States makes it likely that government policies will change drastically in a short period of time. That is false. The 2-party system, what it does is in a short period of time, really what happens is the party that's in control is going to keep things the way they want. And on the final section here, reviewing the facts, we just have some fill-in from the word bank. Number 11, political parties nominate or select men or women to run for political office. That's what they do at the nominating conventions, at the primaries and caucuses, what we've talked about in class before. Number 12 is in a one-party system. All other political parties are forbidden. It's a dictatorship. They eliminate all political opposition. Number 13, two or more political parties work together to run the government in a coalition. This is just like when we talked about in multi-party systems, when different ice cream flavors would have to come together to create a majority. That working together in compromising groups, those groups are called coalitions. Number 14, a political party is an organization made up of citizens who have similar ideas trying to get their people elected to office. There's that definition. Number 15 says we have a two-party system in the United States because we have Democrats and Republicans as our two major parties. Number 16 talks about Theodore Roosevelt and Ross Perot, who ran under third parties. Theodore Roosevelt created the Bull Moose Party because he did not like what his former vice president, William Taft, was doing with the Republican Party. And Ross Perot we have talked about as running as another Republican option instead of George Bush, who caused Bill Clinton to win the election in 1992. Number 17, a candidate is the term for the person who runs for election to a government office. Right now, the Democratic candidate is Joe Biden. The Republican candidate is Donald Trump. And our final answer here for number 18 is several European countries have the multi-party system, where they have more than two strong political parties. All right, that's our worksheet there. We've graded it. It was 25 points. If you get it turned in, the fact that we just went over it means you should do pretty good. So hopefully it's a free 25 points for everybody. Make sure you get that done, get it turned in. Have a good weekend, stay safe, and see y'all sometime in the future.